We just did a little job. I didn't get quite as much footage of it as I hoped to, but I did get some. But I wanted to explain to you what we did there. I got a customer we did some wrought iron fencing for a couple years ago. We had discussed doing a gate then, but he held off. But I explained to him he wants a big steel iron gate, and I explained to him if we done that, the way we do them is we put a footing under the driveway, and we'll put steel posts in on each side and then tie them together with rebar, and then pour both posts and then a footer that ties it all together. Well, he's getting ready to concrete his driveway now, and then he remembered the conversation we had, so he called me up and was like, hey, I'm not ready to do the gate yet, but I want to get these posts in, and if you come look at it, give me a price on it. So I went and looked at it, give me a price. He said, all right, how quick can you get it done, because I'm about to pour this driveway. So we went in, talked to him. We had to actually set it in a little bit, so if you pull in off the road, you're not hanging out in the road, and that's a really busy road where it's at. We went in, measured in, and then set up. He wants a 20-foot gate, so we had to set it in that way. We dug our footing, bored our 2 holes, cleaned it out, and then we put our rebar in, I think 5 number 4s, and I cut some plates that worked out pretty good that kept the spacing on the rebar. And we put a 1-inch conduit in between the 2 posts, so when he puts an opener on them, the conduit's already there for the wire to get to the other side. And I'm already talking to him about the gate, and now that the post is in, he's a little bit excited about it. And I think we're going to use the Ghost openers on it. I've watched a couple videos on those. We've never used those before. We've always used a cheaper one, actually, but they seem like they make some good stuff. But this is kind of just some short videos I'm gonna put together showing some different steps, and it's not that exciting because we didn't actually put the gate up. We just put the footing in, poured the concrete, and I had to end up capping them off over there because we were in a hurry to get the post in, so did a little bit of welding on site. But this is a gist of how we go about putting gate post in for heavy steel gates, and it works. They'll never sag, the tops will never come in or anything like that. When you put it in, it stays there and it's done. So here's a little video about it, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Out here digging the footing for these gate posts. It's a 24-inch bucket. We're going 16, 18 inches deep between the 2 posts. Getting that dug now. We always do, we do this. We'll dig the gravel out, pile it up so we backfill with it, and then we load the dirt on our dump truck and put that somewhere else on the property. But just trying to keep our mess down here in the customer's driveway. So we got our footing dug yesterday. It's about 18 inches deep, 24 inches wide. So I just pulled a string line. We're gonna be 2 foot off of these columns in to give enough room for a car to pull up to the gate without being out in the road. But waiting on the auger to get here right now. That'll lay off the center line for our post, and then we're gonna drill an 18-inch auger. It'll be 20'6" apart in this trench, and then we'll pour it all together, and that way the 2 fence posts will be tied together. But that's pretty much the gist of this morning. So we got our holes drilled. They're 30 inches below the bottom of my ditch. My ditch is 20 inches. So they're gonna be 50 inches in the ground. About to go back to the shop and cut the 2 pieces of 6-inch pipe. We're just gonna cut them 10 foot random for now. And when we get ready to do whatever we're gonna do, we'll cut them down to what we need them. But that's it. So there we have it. We got our columns set. We just welded some pieces off to hold them plumb until we get the concrete. And then we got our rebar cage built across through here. It's all welded off to the post. All I got left to do is put some conduit in it now. And we're ready for concrete. Got our conduit in the hole, 1-inch PVC, one side to the other. Got everything ready to go. All we need now is our concrete. That way we can, if they did gate openers, we can get a wire to the other side. Then when he pours his driveway, I got that conduit to go out there for a keypad. And then on the other side, we'll go over to that post, and that's where his power will be. But try to get all that, think ahead on a lot of that stuff so you don't end up in a bad spot. So right here, kind of the time lapse. What we're doing is welding the caps on the post so they don't fill up with rainwater. And these will eventually get cut down to a little shorter once we put the gates in. And then it rolls into, I done some brushing on them and cleaned up the rust off of them to get ready to paint them. But the gist of this is we're just welding. I cut 2 pieces of 1/4-inch plate out on our burn table and come out here and welded them to the top of the post and then cleaned them up where they were nice and smooth. And that's pretty much all this video is, and you see me here brushing them down. Oh, we got our concrete down. All I got left to do now is come back and straighten his driveway up. Just put a light broom on it, even though it's going up under the concrete. We'll come back tomorrow or the next day with a skid steer and just put some gravel over top of it and kind of straighten up the driveway where we messed it up. But next thing they're gonna do is pour a concrete driveway on top of this, and then we'll come back at a later date and put gates in. But the main thing now is getting our footer up under the gates so they could proceed with the driveway. But there it is. Turned out pretty good, and it ain't going nowhere. So I talked to the customer once we were done, and I was telling him I was gonna bring the skid steer in the next day and backfill all that and get it smoothed out. And he actually told me the concrete guys were coming right behind, and since we had gotten it so smooth, it wasn't a big deal to drive over it or anything like that. He decided there's no sense in coming back to straighten it up. Those guys were bringing equipment in to start grading for the driveway, so we just left it alone. I do got to go back out there and paint it, but nobody wants to watch a painting video, so I probably won't be recording that. I just figured this is the part that mattered. But I appreciate everybody watching, and if you would, subscribe to our channel. I'm learning my way around doing these videos, and I think I'm getting a little bit better at them. And it's learning to stop and set a camera up to record things is I'm struggling with, but I'm getting better at that. And our videos are going to get better, and we got some cool stuff coming up. I do have a flatbed we're getting ready to start on in here that I'm going to try to film the whole thing, and I bought some stuff to help film it. But we've done several flatbeds, and we built a good product, I think. And I think it'll be a pretty good video. It may be several videos. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but appreciate everybody watching. We've gotten way more subscribers than I thought we would in this point in time. I mean, we're at 33. We're nobody, but we are getting views and subscribers. So the more we get, the better we get. But I just want to tell everybody thank you. And if you've watched all the way through this, I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.